Good morning sa ating lahat. Tara, basa na tayo ng ating libro, guys. The Word in Other Words, Bible Diary 2023. Today is 28 June 2025. Nandito na tayo sa page ng 14 August. Monday, Saint Maximilian, Mary Kolbe. Open parenthesis, M, close parenthesis, 19th week in ordinary time, dot read, PSS 3. The word first reading, tingnan ko lang yung DT kung anong ibig sabihin. Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 10 verse 12 to verse 22. Basa na tayo sa inyong Biblia, guys, kung wala kayong librong ganito. And now, Israel, what does the Lord your God ask of you but to fear the Lord your God and follow his ways, exactly to love and serve the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul, to keep the commandments and statutes of the Lord, which I enjoin on you today for your own good. Think the heavens, even the highest heavens, belong to the Lord your God, as well as the earth and everything on it. Yet in his love for your fathers, the Lord was so attached to them as to choose you, their descendants, in preference to all other peoples, as indeed he has now done. Circumcise your hearts, therefore, and be no longer stiff-necked. For the Lord your God is the God of gods, the Lord of lords, the great God, mighty and awesome, who has no favorites, accepts no bribes, who executes justice for the orphan and the widow, the befriends the alien, feeding and clothing him. So you too must befriend the alien, for you were once aliens yourselves in the land of Egypt. The Lord your God shall you fear, and him shall you serve. Hold fast to him, and swear by his name. He is your glory, he your God, who has done for you those great and terrible things which your own eyes have seen. Your ancestors went down to Egypt 70 strong, and now the Lord your God has made you as numerous as the stars of the sky. Pasensya na sa boses ko, guys, kasi may sakit pa rin tayo kahit hindi pa gumagaling yung ubo natin. Tapos yung buti nga gumaling na yung lagnat natin kaya okay na. Parang yung pag-uwi natin dito, 2 araw lang tapos the rest may sakit na. So, pasensya na muna. Medyo ngungo pa tayo. Gospel reading, Matthew chapter 17 verse 22 to verse 27. As Jesus and his disciples were gathering in Galilee, Jesus said to them, the Son of Man is to be handed over to men, and they will kill him, and he will be raised on the third day. And they were overwhelmed with grief. When they came to Capernaum, the collectors of the temple tax approached Peter and said, doesn't your teacher pay the temple tax? Yes, he said. When he came into the house, before he had time to speak, Jesus asked him, what is your opinion, Simon? From whom do the kings of the earth take tolls or census tax? From their subjects or from foreigners? When he said from foreigners, Jesus said to him, then the subjects are exempt, but that we may not offend them, go to the sea, drop in a hook, and take the first fish that comes up. Open its mouth, and you will find a coin worth twice the temple tax. Give that to them for me and for you. Ang galing nila, nanghuli lang ng isda, mayroon na silang pambayad sa tax. In Other Words by Carlos Makatanga, SBD-Canada. The Gospel passage today reminds me of the conversation between Jesus and Pontius Pilate that highlights the kingship and kingdom of Jesus. One biblical scholar said that Pilate asked about a political reality that may have a religious dimension. On the other hand, Jesus speaks about a religious truth that certainly has political implications. In Galilee, Jesus spoke of his impending passion, death, and resurrection. Now look at the reaction of his disciples. They were overwhelmed with grief, which is natural human reaction. Religious truth. In Capernaum, Jesus told Simon to pay the temple tax so as not to offend the authorities' political implications. I think Jesus is reminding all of us that we believe in terms of our faith must not be restricted to what we say in terms of prayers and worship, but also in what we do inside and outside the church. This is how we give witness to Christ, and this is how we show our love for neighbor. Indeed, what we believe has political implications because we are part of a political family. We all belong to a community, society, culture, and nation. We all have our religious responsibilities as well as civic duties, and I have that the latter inspired by the former. In observing our civic responsibilities, we have an opportunity to evangelize by getting involved in doing good things and by doing our best to avoid scandals and anything that would weaken our faith. By observing our civic duties responsibly, we can truly fulfill the commandment to love our brothers and sisters. Saint Maximilian Kolbe, whose memorial we celebrate today, will always be remembered for giving up his own life in place of another man who had a family waiting for him. For others, it was probably nonsense and utterly foolish. However, for Saint Maximilian Kolbe, it was fulfillment of the commandment to love, a consequence of his faith. We have seen this same selfless and unconditional love for others from countless frontline workers and first responders whose faith inspired them to go beyond the call of duty. May Saint Maximilian Kolbe intercede for all of us to be more proactive and courageous in working for the common good. Such is the political implication of what we believe. Hanggang dito na lang, guys. Maano yung oras ko, hindi marami ng ano. Bye everyone. God bless.